Computer updated. Computer updated.
Pack leader to Recon 4, airstrike partner stolen by GEC raiding party. GEC's heading back to industrial complex. Pack leader to Recon 4, airstrike partner stolen by GEC raiding party. GEC's heading back to industrial complex. Recon 4, be advised, GEC's continuing on southerly track through complex. Recon 4, be advised, Gex have exited facility and entered Badlands. Are proceeding with marker to Gek Lair.
Computer updated.
Squadron to Recon 4, ready for delivery. Requesting paint on the ground. Squadron to Recon 4, commencing delivery. Clear the area. Repeat, clear the area.
Incoming airstrike. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Huh.